When Calvin Klein, a brand that has long positioned itself at the intersection of minimalism and cultural relevance, announces a flagship store opening in Tokyo, the move is never arbitrary. It's strategic, it's curated, and most importantly, it's targeted. Tokyo stands as one of the most influential fashion capitals in the world, and any brand investing in this market understands that its presence must be more than just retail. It must be symbolic. This is where campaigns transcend promotion and become part of the cultural framework. The upcoming Calvin Klein campaign, which will coincide with the launch of its largest store in Japan to date, is expected to make a bold imprint, not only through architecture and product lines, but also through the power of its chosen brand ambassador, Jungkook. It is no exaggeration to say that Jungkook has become one of the most recognized cultural figures in the global media space. With his affiliations expanding far beyond music into fashion, digital media, and luxury branding, he represents a convergence of commercial success and aspirational image. Calvin Klein's decision to place him at the center of this pivotal campaign reinforces the brand's shift toward embracing global, youth-centric identity. All signs point to Tokyo becoming the epicenter of a calculated fashion milestone. With an immersive retail experience in development and a curated campaign driven by high-impact visuals and celebrity presence, Calvin Klein is not merely expanding its geographic footprint, it is declaring intent. And at the core of that intent stands Jungkook, whose presence alone is expected to command the kind of media and public attention typically reserved for cultural moments rather than commercial announcements. The campaign is not expected to rely on emotion, spectacle, or nostalgia. Instead, it is focused on control, the controlled rollout of visuals, the controlled unveiling of spaces, and the controlled delivery of image, an image that Calvin Klein has carefully shaped around Jungkook. Every camera, every lens, and every screen will be pointed in his direction. But unlike campaigns that rely on fleeting hype, this one is built on sustained strategy and brand-aligned visibility. I end this comprehensive examination. We will explore how Calvin Klein has positioned its Tokyo flagship launch to become one of the most consequential retail campaigns of the year. From design choices to digital amplification, from retail economics to the psychology of image association, this article will analyze the mechanics behind a campaign where all attention, by design, will be directed at Jungkook. Calvin Klein's decision to centralize its upcoming Tokyo campaign around Jungkook is not an isolated creative move. It is part of a broader, long-term branding strategy that the company has been refining for over a decade. Calvin Klein has consistently aimed to reassert itself not merely as a fashion label but as a lifestyle symbol, one that intersects with cultural evolution, especially among global Gen Z and millennial audiences. The brand strategy has revolved around three pillars: relevance, minimalism, and adaptability. These pillars are executed through curated collaborations, timely endorsements, and a consistent commitment to maintaining brand clarity. From the late 2010s to the mid-2020s, Calvin Klein has shifted away from broad celebrity endorsements and leaned toward targeted partnerships with personalities who embody cultural capital and cross-market appeal. Jungkook, with his global recognition and influence across demographics, fits this model precisely. In markets like North America and Europe, Calvin Klein has maintained its visibility through digital campaigns and retail innovation. However, the brand's leadership recognizes the necessity of expanding deeper into the Asia-Pacific region. This expansion is not simply about volume or sales. It's about narrative control in territories where global culture is rapidly defined. Tokyo, as both a commercial and cultural anchor in East Asia, offers a launch pad for the next evolution of the brand's global identity. By centering this strategy on Tokyo and selecting Jungkook as the face of the campaign, Calvin Klein demonstrates an understanding of how to synchronize local relevance with international resonance. Jungkook's dual appeal, being a Korean icon with undeniable global recognition, enables Calvin Klein to operate at both levels. He speaks directly to regional consumers while carrying the credibility and exposure to push brand messaging across continents. The branding strategy also includes high control over campaign rollouts. From visual aesthetics to store design, Calvin Klein ensures brand consistency while integrating local influences. Campaigns are launched with a uniform identity, but are flexible enough to incorporate the nuances of regional consumer behavior, which in Japan includes a deep appreciation for brand integrity, subtlety in design, and experiential engagement over superficial marketing. Digital platforms remain at the heart of Calvin Klein's communication strategy. With Jungkook's presence, the brand gains instant access to millions of engaged followers without needing to artificially generate reach. This enables the campaign to remain efficient while maximizing impact. The Tokyo event is not just a brand announcement. It's a vehicle for delivering Calvin Klein's future-facing vision to global consumers through a singular point of interest. In summary, Calvin Klein's global branding strategy hinges on aligning itself with culturally potent figures, selecting high-impact launch locations, and maintaining consistency in message delivery. The Tokyo campaign reflects the maturation of this strategy. It is not designed for short-term hype. It is structured for long-term positioning, and Jungkook, as a branding instrument, is central to that execution. Jungkook's selection is not based solely on his popularity as a member of BTS. Instead, it reflects his transition from group identity to solo influence. Over recent years, he has emerged as an independent public figure capable of commanding engagement across global audiences, while retaining high levels of local loyalty in key markets such as Japan, South Korea, Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America. This rare balance makes him a low-risk, high-return brand asset. From a branding standpoint, Jungkook's image is consistent with Calvin Klein's core aesthetic principles: clean, modern, and understated. His personal style frequently emphasizes neutral palettes, sharp tailoring, and minimal accessories, qualities that mirror Calvin Klein's design language. This alignment ensures that campaign visuals appear authentic, not forced. Authenticity is a critical success factor in brand ambassador relationships, particularly in East Asian markets, where consumers are highly attuned to inauthentic branding tactics. Moreover, Jungkook brings a high level of digital influence to the campaign. His presence on social platforms, including Instagram and Weverse, allows Calvin Klein to bypass traditional advertising channels and engage directly with a high-value audience. His fanbase, characterized by high engagement rates and rapid mobilization, has demonstrated the ability to drive product sales, trend hashtags globally, and dominate media cycles within hours of campaign drops. This kind of organic amplification significantly reduces media spend while increasing campaign reach and impact. Jungkook's association with Calvin Klein also contributes to a broader rebranding effort. The company is not merely selling garments. It is selling identity. By associating with an individual who represents youth, modern masculinity, and transnational influence, Calvin Klein reinforces its aspiration to remain relevant in an evolving cultural climate. In doing so, the brand also distances itself from earlier perceptions of exclusivity and rigidity, positioning itself as more accessible, dynamic, and responsive. Additionally, Jungkook's appointment helps Calvin Klein compete more aggressively with other fashion houses operating in the premium but non-luxury tier. Competitors such as Tommy Hilfiger, Diesel, and Hugo Boss have all leaned into celebrity partnerships, but few possess brand ambassadors with Jungkook's sustained global visibility. His campaigns generate immediate attention not only from fans but from fashion critics, journalists, and industry analysts, resulting in high media value even before official release. In the context of the Tokyo launch, Jungkook's role is both functional and symbolic. He is the campaign's visual focal point, its marketing multiplier, and its credibility anchor. As the campaign rolls out across platforms and the flagship store opens its doors, his image will not only represent Calvin Klein, it will define how the campaign is seen, interpreted, and remembered. The upcoming Calvin Klein campaign built around the Tokyo flagship opening is expected to adhere to the brand's core visual philosophy, minimalism. However, the inclusion of Jungkook as the central figure recalibrates this approach. It introduces a rare dynamic, using global celebrity visibility to amplify a stripped-down visual language. This balance between minimalism and mass recognition is central to the campaign's creative direction. Jungkook's visual presence inherently carries impact. Without the need for heavy styling, elaborate backdrops, or narrative complexity, his appearance alone draws attention. This effect allows Calvin Klein to remain loyal to its aesthetic roots while still achieving widespread engagement. Where traditional campaigns often rely on exaggerated visuals to create buzz, this campaign aims to deliver the opposite: simplicity powered by celebrity presence. The campaign's preliminary materials, photographic teasers, press previews, and behind-the-scenes leaks suggest a tight focus on Jungkook as the sole subject in clean, high-contrast frames. His posture, expressions, and styling do not disrupt the brand's language. They reinforce it. Jungkook becomes not a distraction from the product, but a medium through which Calvin Klein's identity is transferred to global audiences. His ability to project quiet intensity without theatricality is rare, making him ideal for a brand that has built its visual reputation on restraint. Calvin Klein's marketing team recognizes that image saturation has changed the rules of visual campaigns. In a digital ecosystem where every user scrolls through thousands of images daily, standout visuals are not always the loudest. They are the ones with the highest signal-to-noise ratio. By deploying images of Jungkook in direct, composed settings, Calvin Klein ensures that viewers pause, rather than skip. The intention is not to overwhelm, but to anchor attention, and Jungkook, with his sharp features, composed demeanor, and high recognition rate, serves that purpose efficiently. In addition, Jungkook's long-standing association with black and white aesthetics, whether in photography, stagewear, or editorial work, reinforces Calvin Klein's commitment to monochrome minimalism. His previous campaigns, including past work with the brand, have demonstrated that his image maintains integrity in grayscale formats. This is a practical advantage for global rollouts, where consistency across regional markets and media channels is critical. Minimal editing is required, and localization becomes streamlined without loss of visual impact. It is also important to note that Calvin Klein's visual narrative often places the human figure as both subject and product. In this context, Jungkook is styled not just as a model, but as a statement. His body language communicates clarity, confidence, and composure, characteristics aligned with the brand's intended message. There is no need for excessive props or narrative cues. The story is singular. This is Calvin Klein, and this is Jungkook. BY centering the campaign on a global icon who can embody the brand's aesthetics without overpowering them, Calvin Klein achieves rare visual equilibrium. The campaign does not dilute either party's identity. Instead, it fuses them. And with the Tokyo flagship as its physical manifestation, this fusion between minimal design and maximum recognition is positioned to redefine how fashion campaigns operate in saturated, image-driven markets. Jungkook's role in Calvin Klein's Tokyo campaign extends beyond static imagery. His integration into the brand's broader marketing architecture reflects a dual-focus strategy: maximum digital reach, followed by tangible experiential engagement. Calvin Klein is not merely using Jungkook to boost visibility. It is using him to engineer a full-spectrum campaign that transitions from virtual to physical influence, with Tokyo as the epicenter. On the digital front, Jungkook's value is quantifiable. Posts featuring him routinely accumulate millions of impressions across platforms. Campaign content associated with him achieves virality without media buying, making his presence a strategic cost efficiency. Calvin Klein leverages this by ensuring that its digital launch assets, teaser videos, promotional photos, social-first edits, are all centered on Jungkook. His face, styling, and demeanor become the narrative anchor, ensuring coherence in a media landscape that often favors fragmentation. Jungkook's fandom plays a vital role in this digital-first approach. Highly organized and globally distributed, his supporters translate every appearance, amplify every hashtag, and replicate every product shot. These actions create a multiplier effect, turning individual posts into rolling trends. Calvin Klein's marketing division is acutely aware of this behavior and plans releases accordingly, staggered, coordinated, and timed for optimal global reach. However, the campaign does not stop at the screen. Calvin Klein has deliberately transitioned into an experiential phase, culminating in the Tokyo flagship opening. Here, Jungkook's involvement becomes less symbolic and more functional. His association drives physical traffic. Retail analysts already anticipate elevated footfall driven not only by general brand interest, but by the proximity of Jungkook to the campaign's location. Whether or not he appears in person, his presence, through posters, campaign installations, and digital walls, will dominate the in-store experience. Experiential marketing also includes limited edition product drops, augmented reality installations, and geo-targeted digital engagements, all centered around Jungkook. These activations are designed to convert online interest into in-store participation. Fans and general consumers alike will not merely observe the campaign. They will interact with it, share it, and physically engage with the brand's space in Tokyo as a kind of cultural installation powered by Jungkook's identity. Moreover, Jungkook's ability to maintain global resonance while adhering to localized expectations plays directly into this hybrid marketing model. In Japan, where celebrity endorsement must align with cultural sensitivity and credibility, Jungkook presents an ideal figure, familiar, respected, and professionally consistent. His image is not disruptive, it is invitational. This characteristic helps Calvin Klein navigate the challenge of making global campaigns feel personal and relevant at the regional level, by shifting from digital impact to physical immersion. With Jungkook as the connective thread, Calvin Klein ensures that its Tokyo campaign is not static. It evolves across channels, locations, and touchpoints. Jungkook is not treated as a celebrity add-on. He is the campaign's central mechanism, one that transforms digital impressions into real-world outcomes, store visits, media coverage, and sustained consumer engagement.